Welcome to the TMC Newsroom. Rich Tehrani here. Thanks for watching us. We're at IT Expo this week. It's IT Expo West 2012. We're in Austin, Texas. On our program is Kerry Garrison. He's a VP of Strategic Initiatives at Vitelity. Kerry, welcome back to the show.
Yeah, glad to be here. Been with you several times in the past.
And so you're at Vitelity, and I figure you'd start off by telling us a little bit about what the company does.
Well, Vitelity started almost 10 years ago as a SIP trunk provider, really getting in with the Asterisk community and the open source movement. And we've progressed over the years to be more of a telephony solutions provider now. Of course, we still have the SIP trunks. We've got our virtual fax service, 911 service, 411 service, 411 directory. No one else does that today. Then we added our SMS services for SMS Enabled DIDs, the faxing products, and voicemail transcription services. So now we have a whole range.
Wow, it's a suite.
A suite of solutions, including hosted PBX solutions.
Wow. So describe some of your customers, like in terms of if you were just to look at a list of the customers, what categories would they be in?
They fall into several different groups. You've got the small business people who are looking for anywhere from 1 to 5 phone lines to just replace maybe an old key system, or just save money on their minutes from having to have analog phone lines, up to the kind of that mid-size enterprise business that is really doing a lot of phone calls and can have a huge cost savings, as well as being able to use our SMS Enabled DIDs to send and receive text messages to your DID, which is very, very cool. And then the other segment of our customers are the resellers. And that's a big, big business for us, is maintaining and building that channel of partners to go out and sell our services.
So in terms of growth, have you seen any differences in just the growth of the resellers versus end users?
Well, we focus on that reseller market. Okay. So that has been our biggest growth over the last couple of years, is really trying to build that channel and make other people successful along the way so that they build us up. Just dealing directly with the end user base, let Vonage or someone else handle that kind of churn. Okay. But we really want to focus on making those guys successful out in the field.
So what sorts of trends are you seeing in the market? I mean, obviously, one of the trends you're actually you're responsible for making actually is adding new service after new service after new service. But beyond that, what other things are you seeing in this space?
There's well, growth is fantastic. I mean, we have seen a huge growth over the last couple of years in the number of SIP trunks that we're selling. So that's a good sign. And unless you provide gateways and cards, then it's not so much of a great sign. But for us, it's a fantastic sign. Two kind of focuses that we've been doing is, one is taking traditional gateways that you would connect a PRI into an IPPBX and turning that around and taking our SIP trunk service into old legacy phone systems that traditionally wouldn't have SIP functionality. So we call that SIP Enabled, and that we've partnered with Padding Electronics with their gateways.
Sure.
And can now deliver that as an option. SMS Enabled DIDs is kind of an interesting concept, and you'll hear that from a lot of SIP trunk providers that they have these, but nobody but Vitelity today actually has an implementation of it. So you can order these, but you can't use them anywhere. Well, you use it. In essence, you're taking any open source multi-protocol IM client. On the Windows, it would be Pigeon. There's Adium on Mac. There's clients available for iOS and Android. And you connect to it as if you would an instant messenger client. And now from your phone, your cell phone, you can make and receive text messages to your Office DID. So now if we combine that with a soft phone on your smartphone to be an extension off your PBX, now you can make and receive calls and text without ever exposing your cell phone number. So from a salesperson point of view, that may be interesting that you're not giving away your personal cell phone number. But think of it from the business that guy works for.
The business would love it.
Now, business continuity, all those messages, all those phones, as soon as I get rid of that employee, I can transfer those to someone else. So from a business continuity point of view, I think SMS Enabled DIDs is really going to be a big push over the next couple of years.
You mentioned that the organization might let the person go, but the flip side would be that the person leaves on their own to go start a competitive business or work for a competitive organization, and now they have all your customers calling them. But in this case now, those customer calls will stay within the organization. So it's
right.
really, so what you've done is you've really, you've used technology to help companies protect their customer databases.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I call it business continuity, is losing employees without losing that connection to the actual customer. I think that's huge. And to use a simple technology like this is fantastic. And then our voicemail service, if you have your voicemail with us, you automatically get what we call VM Scribe, which is the voice transcription. But what we've done is we've created an entire new product line called MyScribbit. And if you go to myscribbit.com, you can sign up for the world's first universal voicemail transcription service. So any phone system that can do voicemail to email can work with Scribbit. So instead of that voicemail just simply going to your inbox, you send it to us, we transcribe it, and then send it back to your inbox with the message and the original WAV file. And optionally, you can have that text sent as an SMS message to your cell phone.
Wow.
So being, as much as we think voicemail is the right way to do it and listening to those messages, the reality is often those messages come in when we're in a noisy environment and we can't hear it, or you have to take the time to listen. By looking at a message and seeing the text of it, you actually gain quite a bit of productivity in not having to sit there and reply to everything or listen to it and go through them. You can very quickly decide, I need to call this person right away, or this can wait, or I need to follow up on this later, and you didn't have to take the time to listen to it. So I think it's a huge productivity enhancement. In the 6 months I've been testing it, I've had to listen to one because it just couldn't transcribe some weird company name. Other than that, it's been working great.
Now, how does your system of transcription compare to some of the others on the market? Is it a pure technology solution? Is it, are there agents involved? Is it a hybrid?
Today it's a pure technology solution. We have the ability down the road to add a human oversight component to it, but we really need to judge whether people want that or not. We could add it for a fee, but right now, people are generally happy with the transcription. It's not perfect, and if you when you go to sign up, you'll see these different characters that you can choose from, and each one of them has a description, and it boils down to they can't spell properly. So we kind of have a little disclaimer there, but I find it's good enough that you get the gist of a message and can then decide, I need to actually listen to this, I can ignore it, I can reply, and most often you don't have to actually listen to it.
And I'm a visual voicemail user myself, and I found that even with the human transcription, sometimes the humans don't really understand what the person's saying either.
There's context, especially in a technology field.
Absolutely.
Someone's talking about an ATA, how is that going to come across?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So what's next for the company? I mean, you guys seem to be on a tear. I mean, new services added all the time, lots of growth.
We have a lot of interesting things coming up. We were hoping to have a few more announcements for this particular show. It looks like they're going to slip to IT Expo in Miami, so we're looking forward to that. But we have some huge things coming, and I think you're really going to see Vitality's message of being a trunking provider shifting dramatically into being a solutions provider in a number of different categories.
Very exciting. Thanks for being here and sharing this news with us and our audience.
Well, if you're here, you got to come to our booth because we have a full NHRA drag bike that you get on and you can test your reaction times to win an iPad.
Wow.
So it's going to be a lot of fun. And Steve Johnson, the writer, will be here on Wednesday to sign autographs.
That is really awesome to hear.
Well, it's because Maureen wouldn't let us bring in giraffes. So there's that.
Maureen's on my team. So my company prohibited you from bringing giraffes to the exhibit.
So we had to come up with something else.
2 words come to mind. Pooper scooper.
Logistics. It's logistics. Right.
And that's a real shovel-ready job. Sorry, we're going to close on that note. Thanks, Kerry.
Thank you, Rich.
Take care.